everyone. My name is Shelby, and this is my digital artifact story. I was born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona. I had always had a passion for helping others and wanted to become a teacher when I was a child. Sadly, Arizona is one of the worst states to teach in due to very low funding, low teacher pay, and overcrowded classrooms. I decided to earn a Bachelor of Science degree in psychology and planned on becoming a counselor. Right after graduation from Arizona State University, I moved to Boerne, Texas with my parents and had plans to earn a master's degree in social work. I took a job at a child's learning center and fell in love with the idea of teaching all over again. I decided to earn an early childhood degree as I fell in love with teaching the younger grades the most. My pursuit in earning a master's degree in education is to further educate myself and how to better serve the student body population. Being at the end of the master's degree program, it is clear that the professors here are committed to presenting the most comprehensive educational experiences to students. After I finish earning my master's degree in early education, I plan to attend the certification program at UTSA as well. My main motivation for earning this degree is from a desire to create a better society where social justice is reached. A little background about my childhood education. I attended a failing public school for all of my elementary school years. When I tested into high school, I was below a 5th grade math and reading level. My high school took the initiative in getting me the help that I needed in order to catch up to my grade level. Because of my experience, I believe that all children deserve an equal public education where social justice is reached. I want to do my best to nurture the personal and professional integrity of all learners in my classroom, as we learned through Aeon's 1980 article that students in low-income neighborhoods often suffer the most due to lack of funding in their schools due to the parents' work status. I believe that regardless of what a child's parent's job consists of, all children deserve an equal education. The main ideas and themes throughout ILT 5003, such as understanding the nature of the educational system within the country and the significance of interdisciplinary among other categories, will assist me while pursuing my master's degree and teaching certification by providing a foundation from what I intend to teach upon. The class's foundation relates to the 6 core values in ILT that all educators must possess. These core values consist of intellectual, transformative, inquisitive, critically conscious, ethical, and professional. The main themes presented in this course serve a purpose of what curriculum and instruction should be, which will serve a purpose in my master's degree accomplishment and when I begin teaching in my career. By understanding and applying these themes, I will be able to produce curriculum that satisfies the needs of all the student population in my classroom, while keeping up with an ever-changing society. Since the beginning, education has played an important role within the United States. The socio-political nature of education is important in schools today. No matter what school district, nationality, or socioeconomic status is, all children deserve access to an equal public education. Having my own personal experience growing up attending a low socioeconomic school especially hits home with me on this topic. The resources to all school districts are not created equal, and neither is the funding. For example, I remember in my 4th grade class, we had 43 students in the room, and we would fight to get to the classroom first to make sure we had a seat to sit in. Those who did not arrive early enough had to spend the day in the class sitting on the floor. Gloria Lanson Billings' 2006 article discusses the achievement gap that exists in our educational society today, which refers to the disadvantaged minorities receive in the classroom compared to their white classmates. Lanson Billings also discusses the difficulties minorities had with education in the past, like when African Americans were forbidden from being able to receive an education during the slavery period, and Native Americans were not welcome in white schools. Yet, society has the same expectations for all students. Schools drastically spend different funds on students. Lanson Billings continues to discuss how 2 nearby cities that spend a difference of about $9,000 per student annually, yet all students are expected to be at the same given standards. Since resources in our school are not given equally, it is an educator's job to figure out how to create innovative curriculum for students. As educators, it is our duty to provide students with a safe learning environment and be strong advocates for them to stand up even when no one else will. There are several different types of learning theories we have learned about in class. However, not all students learn the same way, and it is our responsibility as teachers to provide a variety of methods and teaching instructions to best benefit students' needs within our classroom. Throughout this course, we have been presented with 6 different learning theories. I will start off with B.F. Skinner's behaviorism theory. This theory draws the attention to individuals in Skinner's operant conditioning. One can confirm that learning has taken place when a student's response is correct by reinforcement, either positively or negatively. Next, we have Piaget's cognitism theory, which knowledge is constantly created by an individual rather than already made in the world. A student's learning can only take place as long as the student is willing to take an active role in their own education. Next, we have Vygotsky's social constructivism, which explains that a child can only learn as long as they interact with others within the environment and are able to cooperate with their peers. As with Piaget, Vygotsky endorses the idea and notion that children should construct their own knowledge. Vygotsky also mentions the zone of proximal development, which is what a child can accomplish on their own and what a child can accomplish with the assistance of someone. Situated learning, as termed by Leib and Wagner, occurs when students actively and socially construct knowledge within specific contents. Parpet and Harl describe constructivism as learning by being hands-on. This theory incites students to construct their own knowledge by constructing with materials and creating their own artifacts. Andragogy by Knowles is a learning theory that specifically focuses on learning of the adult population. Knowles advocates that adults cannot learn in the same manner that children do, due to differences in characteristics. For example, the idea of self-concept with the experiences that adults have attained over a course of their lifetime. Unlike children who are told they must go to school, adults choose if they want to further their education and what topics that they want to study. There are so many different types of learners today in the classroom. There is no such thing as a typical student, and not one shoe fits all when it comes to teaching a class of 30 students who all have their own backgrounds. As educators, it is our job to address the variety of learners within our classroom. Lee's 1992 article discusses the variety of students' ethnicity and first language that we witness in our classroom. He suggests that teachers must use scaffolding to help address this. Scaffolding is a technique educators can use to build upon current knowledge a child has of their own cultures and furthering that knowledge to teach them and engage them in their learning. When a teacher can successfully use scaffolding and link together what students already know and what we are trying to teach, it makes learning much easier on the students. As educators, we must be respectful and patient of all students and realize that the different cultures are among us, and we must be sensitive to all students' needs and realize that not all students learn in the same way. Meyer's 2009 article discusses how heterosexuality is displayed as normal in schools. However, sexual diversities exist even at young ages. As educators, it's our job to teach diversity and make it known that different sexual identities should not come with a negative stereotype. We need to make sure that students do not bully others because of this. Students should not be abused because of their sexual orientation, and teachers must teach respect to students and acceptance regardless of what another student believes in. Another issue that is discussed by Harl's 1999 article is students with disabilities. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act requires that all students with disabilities receive a free appropriate education and to be placed in the least restrictive environment as much as possible. If students with disabilities are placed in general education classrooms, there are worries that students that do not have disabilities will get less attention from the teacher, or that a disabled student will become disruptive to the classroom environment. There are, however, solutions that are available to these students. Research has shown that parental involvement and instruction adaptations have been shown to be effective for students with disabilities. We have the resources to use to ensure that all students receive a quality, equal education regardless of a disability, and we must make sure that all students receive equal instruction. The last group of diverse learners consists of what Prensky refers as digital natives. Information is now easily accessible by the click of a button versus having to research through books at the library. Teachers must incorporate this type of technology that students are interested in and engage them in learning. Today, teachers must incorporate technology in teaching so it is appropriate for our new 21st century learners. As a future educator, it is my intention once I am in the classroom to promote thoughts and ideas that I have learned from this class. No single student learns the same, and it is my job to make sure I provide many different activities and theories of learning to accommodate my classroom. I plan to promote diversity, communication, as well as independent and group learning. All students will come with a variety of backgrounds, and no one single student will have the same experiences. I, myself, am not a minority. However, I did attend a minority school. I got first-hand experience of overcrowded classrooms, little to no materials, and teachers that were not qualified to be in a classroom. When I went to test to get into high school, I was below a 5th grade math and reading level. I went into high school thinking I wasn't smart enough to attend college. My high school teachers stepped up and helped get me caught up. When I tested for college, I was right where I needed to be academically. I hate to think of a child ever feeling as I had and want to do my very best in making sure that all my students reach their full potential, as I know how important it is to have a good teacher. As Furry would argue, we must fight for the side of the oppressed. As a future educator, I believe it is my responsibility to raise critically conscious awareness among my students, making them aware of the many disparities and misconceptions that they form a part of. I plan to empower my students to pursue permanent liberation from oppression and from those that try to corrupt their education. I plan to get to know my students personally and learn each of their backgrounds so I can best utilize the best practices in order to help them learn in my classroom. It is important to me that I gain the trust of my students and have open communication with them early on. I feel by doing this, we will have the appropriate relationships needed in order to have a successful school year. Using Skinner's theory, I plan to use positive and negative reinforcements to explain appropriate classroom behaviors. By doing this, I hope to accomplish reinforcement to teach new skills, teach a replacement behavior for an interfering behavior, increase appropriate behaviors, or increase on-task behavior. I also plan to use peer collaboration where students can work with each other to figure out the solutions to their problems. This class has helped me see the importance of peer collaboration as it helps them create social skills and empathy in the classroom. Students are able to gain new perspective from each other and learn how to listen to other students who appear different from them. There are so many considerations when it comes to teaching today's youth. Now I can provide them assignments and lesson plans that will challenge them intellectually and help them grow. In addition to helping my students, I know I have a better understanding behind adult learning. I can now collaborate with my peers and other teachers to better help students engage in the learning process. After taking ILT, I know and understand more about students' needs and the need for a variety of learning theories. I will do my best to accommodate each individual child. I hope that my students will look at me as someone they know and can trust and respect, and know that I am doing what is best for them. I hope I can challenge my students and make my classroom an intellectual and fun learning environment. Thank you for watching my story.